Well, good morning, everybody. Today is August the 12th, and this is a very special day because it is the birthday of my blushing bride, Goldilocks, who's actually, there she is. Yay! Another wonderful year. So, we're hoping that we can get into Mazama Village this afternoon, and she can order some kind of a special birthday dinner for herself, even if it's just a hamburger. Right now we're about 14 miles from Mazama, and so that's a good stretch of the legs, and but the trail hopefully will be nice, and hopefully we can get in there before everything closes up. So time to get packed and let's get on the trail. Okay, all packed up, ready to go. There's our tent site, leave no trace. So, looks like we're ready for another day of fun and adventure on the Pacific Crest Trail. So there she is in front of me, the birthday girl, hiking down the trail, just as happy as can be. And that kind of reminds me, or makes me think back to when we were first starting this hike. I talked to so many people, most of them, you know, people my own age, you know, they were in their 40s, 50s, some in their 60s, and almost universally everybody just said, oh my God, I could never do something like that, you know. And while a lot of them thought it was cool, they just thought it was beyond their physical abilities. And trust me, that's you talking yourself out of doing something epic like this. If you're really determined or you really have the desire to do it, you can totally do something like this. Now you may not have the time to take off 5 or 6 months to do a through hike, but virtually anybody with a desire can scrounge up 2 weeks and go pick a section of the trail, you know, 80 miles, 100 miles, and just come out and do that and have the experience of hiking a long trail like this and the people you meet and just being out in nature like this. There's nothing like it, and I recommend it for virtually everybody. And yeah, maybe you're in your mid-50s and maybe you're out of shape and maybe you don't have a lot of experience, but don't let that be an excuse for you to not experience something like this. Believe me, there are plenty of people out here on trail who are our age, some even older. I've met people literally in their 70s. Met one guy, was he 75? Can't remember his name because I suck with names, but he was out here hiking this trail for, God, I think he was doing a pretty good section hike on it. Fossil, that was the guy's name, yeah. 75 years old, and out here humping these hard steep hills and humping a backpack. So if a guy like that can do it, what's your excuse? Or for that matter, a guy like me. I mean, you guys know my background, my history, the injuries that I'm dealing with right now. So I don't usually like to, well, I never really like to talk about myself like I'm doing something extraordinary, but I think I have overcome some obstacles, and it would be easy for me to use those excuses to not do this. Instead, I chose to consider them challenges to be overcome, and not limit me, not keep me from doing something I want to do. So if I can do it, so can you. in direct contrast to almost every day for the past 2 weeks, today is, as you can kind of see maybe, somewhat overcast and downright cool this morning. I don't know, the temperature's probably low 50s. But for me, that's ideal. When it's cool like this, I can get out here and just hike literally twice as far as I could on a day when I'm getting boiled alive by the sun. Walking through a really big burn area right now. Not sure how long ago this area burned, but man, it just took everything out, every tree. Pretty desolate looking landscape. Man, really sad. Even though it's the middle of August, we've been extraordinarily lucky. A lot of times, most summers, and by this year, we've had quite a few fires here in the Pacific Northwest. Of course, you know, it is only middle of August, and in the next 6 to 8 weeks, you know, we could most definitely run into more fires, but for the time being, we've been pretty lucky that way. For those of you who don't know, this plant here is called fireweed, and it grows almost exclusively in recent burn areas. Now you can see it in other places occasionally, but it gets its name from the fact that it grows in places like this, big forested burn areas. If I remember correctly, I think that the seeds have to be activated by heat in order to germinate. So they're a very pretty flower, though. And it has medicinal purposes, although I can't tell you what they are. Oh, I know that it's mysterious medicinal purposes. I know that it does a lot of good stuff. Oh, okay. Well, maybe we should eat some and find out. Yeah. Yeah. Probably gives you diarrhea. It's a treatment for constipation. That's the last thing we need right now. Yeah. So. Just thinking about today's date, August 12th, and I realized that this coming weekend would have been, or was scheduled to have been, Pacific Crest Trail days up in Cascade Locks, and really kind of bummed. I mean, I was looking forward to that literally since Goldilocks and I attended it last year. For those of you who maybe aren't familiar with it, once a year in the middle of August, a whole bunch of outdoor vendors and other people in the outdoor industry get together in Cascade Locks and have kind of a big, I don't know, we call it a rally or a celebration or something of the Pacific Crest Trail. And it's a really popular event with all the PCT thru-hikers. Many of them will time their hikes so that they arrive there at Cascade Locks during that weekend, or they'll hitchhike either up the trail or back down the trail so they can attend it. It's just a great chance for everybody to get together and see hikers, friends, trail mates that they haven't seen in weeks or months. Last year when we went, I was just, we were just kind of bystanders. We were outsiders looking in. But I remember just seeing all the hikers there from last year it was clear they really enjoyed getting together and seeing one another, and the camaraderie, you could just feel the camaraderie that they all felt for one another, and having shared that experience. And we overheard them talking about experiences on the trails, and God, we were just so envious. We couldn't wait until we got to do our thru hike this year and got to attend the 2020 PCT days so that we could be, part of that group who was getting together with their friends and sharing experiences. But unfortunately, it's just didn't turn out that way. Goldilocks is trying to show me something in the trail.
They're elk tracks.
Elk tracks. I would say those are elk tracks. They look pretty big. Haven't seen any elk tracks on the trail yet this year. All deer tracks. Anyway, sorry for that interruption. Right. But here, maybe I'll switch around and show you. Okay, this is one of the tracks she's talking about. Here's my here's the handle of my trekking pole to give it some scale. So probably is an elk track. It's definitely bigger and whoops. There we go. It's definitely bigger and wider than a deer track. So where was I? Oh, anyway, yeah, I understand why they had to cancel the event. I mean, virus going on and all that stuff, and I'm not saying that they should have just ignored that and had the event. I'm just saying I'm disappointed we didn't get to experience it. PCT days is kind of one of those milestone events that you get to look forward to. Kind of like when you walk into Kennedy Meadows and everybody claps for you, or when you reach the top of Forester Pass, or or even just touch the monument. I mean, there are certain milestone events along the PCT that you get to look forward to, and PCT days was one of them. So that's 2020 for you. Okay, according to Gut Hook, this cairn right beside the trail marks the last water source for the next 10 miles. The water's actually up the hill, and it looks like people have been walking up that way, so I'm not sure how far it is up there. I guess there's a small pond. You gotta walk up there, get water, and have to last you 10 miles through this very dry, hot country. Whew. Okay, let's go find it. It was a stiff climb, 100 yards above the trail, but I found it, and it looks absolutely delicious. Oh boy. Here we are. The world's largest frog pond. Yum, yum. I'm not even sure how we can get down there and get the water to filter without getting soaking wet. Looks like there might be a log sticking out there we can walk out on. Okay. Looks like there's a lot of animal tracks in here too. Mostly deer tracks. I guess this is one of the only sources of water for them as well. Oh boy. Let me get on this log here without, I wasn't going to walk through the damn mud. But I've got my Steri pen, which has been doing a great job for us the whole trip. sterilizing the water, making it safe to drink. But this is one time when I'm wishing that I actually had a more traditional water filter, because I have a feeling this stuff has all kinds of wildlife swimming around in it. Okay, well, there it is. Yum yum. Huh. Boy, what I wouldn't do for a nice cold Coke right now. Okay, I'm gonna dump in 1 packet of Crystal Light Pink Lemonade to hopefully disguise, most of the taste of the frog poop. Alright. Screw on the cap. Shake it well. And there we have hopefully drinkable frog pond poop water that won't give me the poops. Okay, it's 6:25 p.m. obviously, not in the morning. We are 2 miles away from the highway that leads into Mazama Village. I think it's like 3/4 of a mile down the highway, so almost 3 miles. Well, but we did hike 14 miles, so it was, you know, a fairly good long day for us old folks, and both of us are kind of feeling it, even though it was a fairly good trail. In fact, the trail right now is beautiful. I mean, check this out. I mean, I could walk a trail like that every day. But nevertheless, today is our 8th day in a row of hiking between 10 to 14 miles every day, and through some hilly country, some rough trails, and we're just feeling beat up. So I think tomorrow for sure is going to be a 0 day in Mazama Village. Been contacted by a trail angel who was following us, offering to come up and maybe, you know, do some trail magic for us or some other favor. So that would be kind of a nice gesture. But we just need a day off to rest, recover. I need to make sure I get caught up in my videos while I can before I head out on the next stretch, which is going to be, I think, 75 miles from Crater Lake to Shelter Cove, and I don't think there's going to be any spots along there for me to upload videos, so I really need to try and get those done while I'm here in a place where I have internet access. But that's about it. As I said, 6:30. We found out the restaurant there in Mazama Village is open until 8:30, so it looks like we'll make it there in plenty of time for Goldilocks to get her birthday hamburger. She's been talking about it all day long, and I know she's really looking forward to it. we made it with 35 whole minutes to spare. So I should be able to eat not only dinner, but dessert. Cool.